98.5 Zepbound weight loss win. Hi friends, it is a chaotic get ready with me this morning. We have our new dog, Wilma and Fred, get it, Fred and Wilma, and she's creating a lot of chaos today. There's a lot of chaos. But I wanted to deep dive in how I can best help and serve you, talking about my weigh-in and see if any of this is applicable for you to help on your weight loss journey. She's getting into everything. And I have, as a video marketing content creator, stuff is everywhere. So when we talked earlier about getting rid of old clothes, you know what I did last night? Went into my closet, got rid of 2 big old bags of clothes. I'm just trying to get rid of stuff because she's eating it all. And she's, to be fair, she is she's an 8-month-old puppy. Okay, let's go back into talking. So one of that is decluttering. Tip 1, if you haven't gotten rid of your old clothes, this past week has been the biggest thing from this week. And by the way, I'm using the, I'll link this down below. I'm obsessed with this brush, this contour brush. It's amazing. And my foundation brush. I'll link everything, by the way, that I'm using down. Just click the ... more button in the hyperlink and it will send you to all of like my Amazon direct shopping list. So one of the biggest things this week for me was like, dang, my clothes, I have body dysmorphia of where I think that I'm bigger than I am or that I'm smaller than I am. And therefore, looking at my clothes, I'm like, why am I still holding on to all of these extra large tops? With my clothes, I am not an extra large top anymore. I'm a size large top. And I don't know why I keep holding on. Does anybody else? Am I the only one? Tell me in the comments. Am I the only one who's doing this of like, why am I keeping these clothes? That is a sabotage. I need to get rid of them. They don't fit. I'm donating them. When I say get rid of them, I want to have someone else, you know, if they're nice clothes, I want to get rid of them to somebody else who could really use them. It really, it was very prevalent as I was looking, as we were walking, we got back from Disney and I was looking around. I'm like, why am I in these clothes that don't fit? Why am I doing this to myself? Pants, by the way, a new revelation this week on my pants is, I didn't think that my flapjack butt could get any more flapjacky. They talk about Ozempic face a ton, but recently my Ozempic butt is out of control. It is like a ledge. It is just like a drop down. There is no peach anymore. It used to be very peachy. Some junk in the trunk. No more. No more peachy. And I noticed that this week, my pants, my breeches, I had a plumber's crack continuously in pants that normally fit me. So now I need to get some new pants, but it's because my butt's gone. I'm like, well, maybe because my butt's gone, my front apron belly will shrink a little bit. I'm thinking that that is the case. The butt goes and then the apron belly is going to shrink. I'm going to keep going. I'm trucking. I'm loving on my body. Even with the flapjackness, I sincerely still love it. I'm like, well, good for you, girl. Got to do some more squats, but part of not doing the squats is my knees are creaky. And so this is why Pilates is so important to build that muscle. I feel like I need to move over. It's so chaotic here. Don't judge me for the non-made bed and then the clutter. We just got back from Disney. Our house is a train wreck, and with a new dog, it's also a train wreck too. I'm going to be using this foundation brush. I'm completely obsessed with it. I'll link it down below. Love, 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 love. Any mature woman who uses foundation, I highly recommend. It is amazing because of the way that it's designed. It's awesome. Actually got it for free at a YouTube shopping event. And then I was like, I'm not interested. And then now I use it. I'm like, I love this so much. So my body has changed this week. And so this is tip number 2. My body has changed, but the scale only moved 1/2 pound. Part of that, we were at Disney, y'all. Actually thought I was going to gain a substantial more amount of weight, from Disney. And so the fact that I actually lost 1/2 pound, I'm like, is my scale broken? Is something wrong? To me, it just doesn't seem right. I can tell I'm still puffy though. I can see in my face, I can see that I really enjoyed my vacation. It was awesome. But losing that 1/2 pound, I can tell that I am, because I'm walking now because of Wilma and because of Freddie. I'm walking yesterday I walked 7 miles. But I'm walking every day at least 5 miles per day. And I'm like, who is this woman? Y'all, it's because of Zepbound. It's the best non-scale victory. Physically being able to walk this rescue. She was a foster. She's not. We've adopted her. To be able to walk her and not be completely like feeling like I'm on death's door. I'm like, okay, I have had full disclosure. And if you're having sleep issues, go walk 5 miles. You will sleep well at night. I've had the best sleep, of course, with my Bioptimizer's magnesium. Of course. That always helps me. Oh my God, she's eating. How did you get my slipper? How did you get my slipper? Again, I put this so that is, I'm continuously moving. I realized also, number 3, with my walking, and I think this is part of my body dysmorphia component, is that when I walk, I think I'm burning way more calories than I am. I have been using my Oura Ring and my Google Watch. I'm charging them right now, which is why I don't have them on. But basically, I thought I was burning like 100 calories per mile that I walked. No, so I was overeating with that. That's not true. For me, I think it's around like 50 or 60. It's not somewhere in that ballpark, maybe 70, but it's not 100. It's not 100. And then when you multiply that by 5, so if it's a deficit, just for easy math, if it's 50 times 5, that's 250 calories. I was thinking I was burning 500 calories for 5 miles walked at 100 calories per thing, and it's really only 50. She's eating something else. I'm like, go. One of the biggest lessons is my calorie distortion. I did not recognize just calories that I'm burning. I thought it was a lot more. And I don't know if you guys have experienced this too, where you're like, oh, the truth of the matter is, I got the new Tarte palette. I'm loving these, by the way. I'll link them down below too. The truth of the matter is I'm not burning as many calories as I thought, and I'm eating way more calories than I thought. And I've talked about this in other videos, but essentially with gaining an extra pound every 2 weeks is only by consuming an extra 250 calories. The inverse of that is true. If you have a deficit of 250 calories every 2 weeks, then you lose a pound every 2 weeks. And so that's been something major for me. I'm like, okay, like these little bites that I've been doing actually do make a big difference. And not being in denial about it, of like, oh, I'm gonna have a piece of my kid's Halloween candy. Well, if I do that every day for 2 weeks, not only am I not gonna lose, I'm actually gonna gain. And so that has been this like super helpful, revolutionary experience for me of like, what I'm thinking the calories are now that I'm in the nitty gritty of this is actually not accurate at all. Leads me to tip number 3 is de-stressing. I don't know about y'all. I have been incredibly stressed the last few weeks. There's a lot of back end stuff I can't speak on that has been very stressful, very, very stressful. And so mitigating my stress, because we know stress doesn't help us lose weight. And so mitigating my stress has been paramount, which walking is obviously helping. And I know if I can harness this, I need to harness this. It's a tool and a skill set that I need to harness with the stress, that no matter the tornado that's going on around me, that I maintain my inner peace and my inner comfort. I know where that peace and inner comfort comes from, and leaning into that. And before, it was food was so comforting, and I don't have that anymore. And so taking the food away and actually having to stand firm like a tree with the midst of stuff going on around me and being like, I am okay. I'm not going to lean into old coping mechanisms and old habits. And I'm going to keep doing the next loving choice. I'm going to keep doing the next healthful choice. It's freaking hard. I think that's part of the reason why I'm so tired too, is like I am practicing every last tool. And this is where some people, I feel like in some ways of me being a turtle and turtles unite, this is your encouragement, that I do have a benefit over people who lost just a ton, who are hyper responders with the medication, is I'm really, really having to work on my skill sets. And one of those is not eating when I feel emotional, is not leaning into the food. That takes practice and sitting with the discomfort. My therapist is like, sit with the discomfort. It's going to eventually pass. You just have to sit with it for long enough. And I'm like, this is like, it feels very uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. And so I want to encourage you, if you're going through a season of where it feels anxiety producing or stressful or chaotic or whatever, it's going to pass. But sitting in that long enough to not do something that's going to derail my health, you know what I mean? That it's challenging for me, and really making me work on my tools hardcore, which is good. I mean, I'm growing as a human being. I really do feel like the inner growth that I'm doing, that's the bonus of all this. With Zepbound, that I didn't know that I would get when I started Zepbound, would be the inner growth that I've really, really, really had to work on a lot of this deep stuff. I was like, oh, I'll just stop eating food. And so much more has come with this than just stop eating the food, just stop eating the food. So I am super, super excited. 98-pound weight loss, this 98.5 pound weight loss. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled, particularly with the vacation in there. Like going to Disney, oh my goodness. Wait till you guys see my what I ate in a day videos. I'm pumped about those. We ate some good food. We ate some good food. I'm glad to be back though, because going to Disney is not relaxing. It is very, what's the word? Sensory overload. It's like Vegas, but Vegas is way more sensory overload, but for sure Disney is sensory overload too, where it's just a lot going on. Next tip, protein. I got a rotisserie chicken last week and I ended up eating off of that for 2 days and it was awesome and so helpful. I think this week, you guys know I do, if you're new, welcome. I pick a lean protein of the week to really focus in on as like a hyper focus. Does anybody else have that, where you get hyper focused on certain foods? This past week, it was a rotisserie chicken for my Costco haul. This week, I'm gonna go up on Tuesday. I'm gonna go over the Appalachian Mountains to go to Northern Virginia to go to Whole Foods. Whole Foods has on Tuesdays, you guys probably already do this. I didn't know about this until my one of my besties, David, had said, him and his husband go and they get these meals and they're like lean protein. You can get chicken or you can get fish or you can get good stuff. And then a side, usually vegetables. And on Tuesdays, it's buy one, get one half price. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm totally doing that. But I also, while I'm there, I want to get the 98 or 99% lean ground turkey or ground chicken because I can make that in wraps. I can make those with tacos. I can make those Greek. I can make those more of like a hamburger type, like patties. There's so many things you can make with them. And so I'm going to be getting that on Tuesday. That's my next big like hyper protein focus. Getting that 99% lean meat. So I'm hitting my protein goals, 125 grams of protein. Oh my gosh, my hair is indicative of the state of my house right now, which will get cleaned up here. Look at this sweet boy, but he's being so good. He's usually crazy. He's being so good. Hitting my 125 gram protein focus is 100% my focus this week. In fact, in the free encouragement group, I think I'm gonna make our challenge. We do weekly challenges. I think it's gonna be tracking because I need it. I need someone to come and be like, Elizabeth, what are you doing? Even if you're over your protein or over your calories, you still need to track it. Like, that doesn't absolve you from not tracking if you've eaten over your calories for the day, right? Does anybody else do that? I'm like, I'll just stop tracking. No, it still exists. It still exists. It doesn't not exist if I'm not tracking it. It still happens. Like, this is where I'm like, I have to get lovingly, brutally honest with myself if I'm going to hit these goals. Because now it's come down to being scrappy and like the nitty gritty stuff. It's not like I know the major stuff I need to be doing, particularly on Zepbound 15 milligrams. And many of you guys had said about stopping and then coming back on in 2 months. No, that scares the dickens out of me. It scares the dickens out of me to do that because I was off the medication for, what was it, 11 days? I did a video on it. And y'all, I went to town Julie Brown with my food and that scared me. So I don't want to do that, but I'm like halfway thinking now, I'm like, maybe I will do that. Maybe I need this reset so I can come back, but I'm worried that if I stopped, I would gain a massive amount of weight. And so whatever weight that I would lose from coming back on would negate that. I don't know what to do. I just keep holding out. I'm like, retatrutide. It's actually the cagrisema. That's the next big thing coming out. I just did a video on that. If you guys haven't seen that, it's from Novo Nordisk. It's coming out in the next year. If it gets through the next, it's doing really well in the trials. That's the next big thing. So I'm actually getting really excited about that one because retatrutide is going to be probably 2 years-ish. But cagrisema, that's 2025. That's this upcoming year. I will, I think, because it's higher, move to that. I need to move to something. I need to move something higher because this ain't it. This ain't, like, I'm just, there's still, where I need to go is 30 more pounds. I'm so close to the 100-pound weight loss, and that was always the journey, but really my BMI is not where it needs to be. And because of that, I worry about my joints. I worry about my heart having an extra 30 pounds from where my BMI, and that's the highest BMI, by the way. My BMI, if I actually went to the lowest BMI, is like, what is it, like another 40 pounds? I'm naturally an hourglass, so that's just not realistic for me. But things that I'm focusing in on, the dog crying is not one of the things I'm going to focus on. Number one for me, things I'm focusing on this week is being like Mr. Freddie. I am not going to let stuff rock my peace because when it does, I eat. And it's not like massive, but literally only an extra 250 calories a day can lead in 2 weeks to a pound weight gain. So I really, really need to first anchor myself into my belief systems. And for me, that's in my faith. And really, really lean into that. 2, I'm upping my therapy appointments. emotionally while going through this back end thing that I won't speak on camera about, but there's back end stuff that is happening that is stressful and that is scary, and that is rocking my peace. And so that has led me to nibble, 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 and that is probably why I didn't lose a full pound this week. 3, continue my victories, continue to keep walking. I'm so proud of myself. I'm so proud of myself for walking as much as I have been, and I will continue to do that because, hello, we have 2 dogs now, and she's 8 months old. He's 3 years old, but he still has a ton of energy. And so really, really focusing on my exercise. 4, focusing on my protein of the week, which is going to be this week, those whole food meals, the pre-made meals. They look really good. Like chicken, you guys know I don't like chicken, but I can take that grilled chicken because I can't do raw chicken. Oh, it grosses me out. So this is what I'm saying. Like if you don't like something, find a way around it to make it, we have to make this long-term and sustainable. And so how for you can you make it long-term and sustainable and be excited about it? Can I tell you how excited I am to go to Whole Foods on Tuesday? I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So that's my Tuesday, and then I'm gonna get my lean protein while I'm there. I way overbought this last week. If you saw my Costco and Walmart shopping haul, way overbought. So I'm trying to keep the budget lean, tight, and mean. It literally, I'm just gonna go and get the protein and then get those prepackaged meals. And maybe something else. No, I need to not. Like, I just need to mind our budget for a little bit. With the holidays coming up, I'm like, tunnel vision. Speaking of which, if you're looking for holiday gift items, I will link my holiday guide down below of things that I'm doing for stocking stuffers and gifts and things like that. I have a whole holiday guide of stuff that I personally just love to pieces. Next thing that keeps also popping up for me on this weight journey of Zepbound weight loss is grace. Grace for other people and grace for myself. And if I want grace for myself, I have got to extend it to other people. And so that is really, really important to me. That I'm going to be focusing in on. This is where I talk about like the internal self-growth. That takes a lot from me. And so I'm really also going to try to work on that too. And then the final thing I'm going to work on is, in addition to cleaning my house, because I can see how dirty it is, oh my gosh, is great. Not is I already said grace, is play. Having fun. I want to have fun. And with having anxiety, sometimes it's really hard to do that. The world feels very heavy. And so being intentional to go have fun, to go play. I need to do that late. Last night we went to go throw the glow-in-the-dark Frisbee as a family. It was awesome. We did the glow-in-the-dark soccer ball. That was after walking 7 miles. I was so proud of myself, but I'm like, no wonder my legs hurt. No wonder my body hurts. Like I'm moving so much. And that is a massive non-scale victory that I have got to keep in the first front of my mind, that I may not be hitting all my goals, but I'm hitting some of these way past I could ever have imagined that I'd be doing. I didn't imagine I'd be doing as much physical stuff that I am doing. And so keeping that in mind, also, I need to be celebrating those victories, which I fully want to encourage you to do too. What are your victories this week? Please tell me in the comments below. I really, really want to know. Iron sharpens iron, and so we can motivate each other through our victories. And if you are working through, like I am right now, some anxiety, some fear, some stuff going on behind the scenes, I want you to know, A, that I care for you. If you've made it this far in the video, I really, really do. I am praying over you. And B, you're not alone. And C, let's also focus in on what is going well, because what we focus in on is where our attention goes, and that grows. And so I am trying not to lean in with I have valid reason for several of these things of why I feel the way I feel. It's not diminishing the validity of that. However, I can't keep living in a state of like the state that I've been living with. And so I'm doing the best I can, and I want to encourage you, do the best that you can. And how can you push yourself in the midst of all of that? If it's a season of chaos or if it's a season of smoothness, take advantage of those extra arm pumps, metaphorically speaking on the journey, or physically speaking, figuratively and literally. Take advantage of those extra pumps to push you down your journey. If you're having a hard time, talk about it in the free encouragement group with solution focused. I already gave you my solutions. It's the protein, it's the food. Literally for me, what's going to get me to that 100-pound weight loss journey, which God willing will be next week, is going to be in my fork. The answer is found in the fork. It's really not in the walking. That's 20% of this, but it's the 80% of literally what I'm eating each day. So I'm honing in on that, baby. Honing in on that. That's where I'm at. I can see the puff in my face from Disney. I'm proud that I only, you know, that I only lost a half of a pound. I thought honestly I'd be like, oh, massive, like 10-pound weight gain. We walked so much, and I made it through. And I'm going to do a whole other video on that one too. But so stay tuned for that if you're a Disney lover. I used to not be a Disney lover, but now I'm like, now that I can do all this stuff, I'm like, ooh, this is so fun. And I'll talk about in my other video. I had to go on all the roller coasters. I feel like I cry in every video, but I got to go on all the roller coasters. I had to go on Tron. It's like a motorcycle type one. And while I was I'll talk about this in another video, so you'll hear the story twice, but I saw 5 women, bigger women. They couldn't get on the roller coaster. And I felt like so bad. Like I wanted to cry for them. And I like stopped and I said a prayer for them. Because I saw it happening. They had to get off the ride. They couldn't put the strap on Tron. You have to like bend over like a motorcycle. And it pushes this thing on your back. And they couldn't do it. And on Tron, there is a back seat at the very back for handicapped people and for larger people too, where you can still ride the ride, but you're sitting as opposed to being in this like motorcycle type thing. And they had to get out and go to the back of the roller coaster. And I know how that feels to have to get off a roller coaster because that happened to me. It was so embarrassing. I felt so humiliated. Of like, I remember the person pushing and they had no grace or kindness. They're like, ah. And the Disney people did. Like, they were so gracious to the people. But it was 5 women who had to get up and then get off. And I just felt for these people. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so glad that's not my life anymore. But I also can completely understand because it's happened to me. I don't want to mess up my makeup. It's happened to me where I've had to get off. And so to be able to ride the rides, I told my husband, I was like, I cannot believe I'm like doing this right now. That should, like, each time that should be me. And I'm so grateful for my life. I'm so grateful. To have this new dog literally would not have happened if it weren't for Zepbound. And I love her so much. We love her so much. She's a family member. We've only had her now for 6 days. It hasn't even been a full week. And she's like a family member. She's awesome. She's a really cool dog, but I couldn't do it physically before Zepbound. And I'm really grateful for that. So thanks for being on this journey with me. And as we go through celebrating these victories, it takes me back, like remembering like the roller coaster thing. I remember that feeling of like demoralization. And I don't have to feel that way. I'm really, really grateful. I don't have to feel that way today. And I can make good choices today, next loving choices to help propel me on my goals. So let's talk about accountability. What are we doing today to move us closer to our goals? You tell me in the chat. And number 2, our emoji of the day is going to be a roller coaster in honor of those women, because I really, really hope I wanted to be like, babes, there's a solution. There is a solution. Like, you don't have to sit in this if you don't want to. And I know that it's a hard solution financially and that not everybody can be able to do this solution. I understand that fully. And I fully recognize the privilege in saying that. And other people from other countries and all of it. Like, I fully recognize the privilege in all of that. Trust me, I sincerely do. But I was thinking in my head, I'm like, gosh, I was them and I'm not, simply because of a pen injection and really, really hard work on my part. So our emoji of the day, if you don't know what emojis are, it's like a bat signal. It tells me you made it this far in the video. It helps me to get to know you better because I care. I will also pray over you. If you don't believe in prayer, I'll uplift you in positive thought. And that was part 2. And the emoji of the day is the roller coaster. Or you can do something else. You can type out roller coaster if you're like, I can't find the emoji, which is totally fine too. I love you guys so super much. Tomorrow's video, if you guys haven't noticed, also here on YouTube, I've been trying something new of doing a full format video every day and a short format video in the evening usually. I'm testing things out. So long format's not going anywhere. I will continue to do my long format, but YouTube has been wonky. Like, I don't know if they're just not showing my videos anymore. I know some people aren't happy with me. I don't know, but it's been wonky. Literally since the election, views have plummeted, which is fine because the people who are watching this video, like, if you're watching this, I care so deeply about you. And if it's just 5 people here and my mama with me, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, if it's literally 5, I'm totally cool with that. Who's going to be here is going to be here. But also, that's why I've been doing some new things. So if you see me testing, I wanted to give the back end of it of why is she testing out these things? Because the views have dramatically changed and I don't quite I'm a video marketing strategist, so I need to know for myself and for my clients what is going on. But I love you guys so super much. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Let's go work out today. Let's hit our protein goals. Let's hit our calorie goals. Let's hit our wellness goals. Let's hit our grace, kindness, love, and compassion and gratitude goals. And let's be good people. Love you guys. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shopping. Count my blessings because life is delicious. See you tomorrow.